Afternoon, you guys. Nice to be with you again. This is Sherrie Rice-Smith for EFTforChristians.com. Remember that EFT is not a substitute for any type of medical or psychological care. So if you have need of such, please do consult your own personal physician. All right, today what I want to talk about is to go back and talk about the relationship of stress and EFT. So what's EFT do for stress? Let me give you a little definition of what stress is first. Stress is a biological response to stuff going on around us. Environmental signals, perceptions, events. It's anything that causes us physiological discomfort is stress. How does stress show up in your body? You could perspire, your heart rate goes up, your blood pressure goes up, your respirations go up. You get fuzzy thinking, you might get palpitation, you might have mood changes, you could get really sad and have a depressed feeling. Anything that causes a physiological body response is stress. So what's going on inside you when this happens? Well, what happens is your body's being flooded with neurochemicals, particularly adrenaline, norepinephrine, and cortisol. So those chemicals come flying out from all kinds of the pituitary gland. The amygdala is firing, the hippocampus is checking you out, trying to figure out what's going on and why is this situation seems dangerous or it's bothering you. And then it shoots hormones down to your adrenal glands, and then those shoot out the cortisol, and then they decrease your amount of DHEA in your body. And you just go into basically fight or flight. All the muscle or the blood runs from your brain where you do your thinking into your larger muscles of your arms and legs. Your digestion slows down. Your immune system goes to the dumper. It messes with your sleep, causing insomnia. It messes up your memory. You can't remember anything. You can't think straight. You say dumb things that you shouldn't say to somebody else because you're angry at them. It leads to all kinds of anxiousness and sadness. And in the end, it speeds up the aging process. And none of us need more gray hair. So how does EFT help with all these things that causes us to be anxious, like work, family, school, finances, death and grief, and then life changes. You have to move to a new job. That's horribly stressful. Someone that you're close to dies. That's horribly stressful. Short-term stress isn't the issue. It's the stuff that keeps us locked into long-term stress, like worry. Just constant worry over, what your children are up to, or they're not doing well in school, or they're not adjusting well. That can be a long-term worry. Finances are long-term worry. Medical issues are long-term worries. Being sick and chronically ill, that's huge worry. Do I have enough insurance, etc.? I don't need to tell you guys know what all is. Can I get the mortgage payment made? So how does EFT help? In its simplest, underselling EFT. EFT simply calms you down. It just calms you down. And how does it do it? Because by the tapping, you're sending that signal back to the amygdala that you're okay in the present moment. It's okay. It's okay. By dropping you down into those alpha and theta brain waves, and it just decompresses. Part of the thing is you are so used to, when you're in chronic stress, to the high levels of neurochemicals that I know this sounds really kind of goofy, but your subconscious will create events to trigger the stress to keep your neurochemicals high. Why? Because the subconscious is like everything else. It doesn't like change. And once it becomes accustomed to high levels of neurochemicals, it wants to stay there. That's what it likes. Even though you in your own conscious mind goes, this is not what I want, it doesn't matter what you want. It's what your subconscious is accustomed to and what it wants, and it will run your life in the background, keeping those stress hormones up. So you need to figure out how to change those patterns of your habits in life so that your subconscious is kind of forced into letting the change happen. So as we tap, we drop those neurochemicals. And if we keep at it long enough, the subconscious finally goes, oh, you want those chemicals lower? Okay, I can help you out with that. You do that by getting in there, and you get in and take care and take care by tapping on earlier childhood events that the present day stress reminds you of. You disconnect those habits and events and neutralize them so that they no longer are what's running the show. It makes the appropriate changes in our life that makes us and helps us to live better. And in the end, for us Christians, what this does is it actually helps us to become more like Jesus. You know, the more that we lose bad habits, we drop our rotten dispositions, we treat people better, we are actually, you know, walking in the image of Christ. It's the icon, A-I-K-O-N. It's a Greek word for the image. And that's what we're looking for. We want to be more and more and more like Jesus. And our gruff, rough, nasty little ways isn't really very attractive to, you know, bringing people into the kingdom. They don't want to hear about Jesus, because if Jesus is acting like you, why, you know, what good is he going to do us? So learn to tap, use it on some of these habits, decompress your stress, slow down, and let God take control of your life so that you can imitate how Jesus acted. And in the end, we'll treat ourselves better, we'll treat our, others better, and eventually you can, I know you can because it's happened to me, you can get that peace and joy, that undercurrent that lies underneath the surface of that Apostle Paul talks about so much in the epistles, you know, that peace that passes all understanding. All right, keep tapping, guys. That's all you can do. Just keep at it. The more you do it, the better you get. And the better you get, the more results you get. So remember, Jesus loves you. God bless you. And we'll talk another day. Bye-bye.